All right, so this is the test. Let me see. Okay. And this is at 30%. Dang, this one takes up to 50% to look good. No, not even that. Let's say up to six. This is called the honeycomb. So it's supposed to, oh, that's what it is, the honeycomb. Before I had the honeycomb on, I didn't need to go all the way up to 65. I went down a lot lower.
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Oh, it's already in there. Too bad, too bad. All right, so I wanted to make a video about if the A7 III is still worth it in 2020. And the short, you know, this might be a video where I'm just like talking and I have like major points, but I might like go off topic a few times, but I can tell you the short answer is yes, like hell yeah, this is still worth it. So I want to break it down into what I use it for, who I think it's for, and who I think it's not for. So I initially got this one. I was like Panasonic when I first started with mirrorless cameras, and then I moved into the M50, and I stayed on that EFM system for a long time. I was with the M50, then the M6 Mark II. I invested in a lot of lenses, like almost every lens that they have on the EFM line, with the exception, like I was going for like fast apertures. I wasn't messing with like the 4.0s or the 3.5s. So then soon after, I just thought like, man, like I feel like I've maxed out on what I can do on the M50. You know, I did short films in 4K. I did, because the people they thought that the 4K was a crutch, and I was trying to prove that it wasn't, that you can use it and it looks good. And then I just wanted to move into full frame, and I had the budget to do it because I was doing so much video work. And I initially thought that I still needed to be on a budget, so I thought, what is the best mirrorless lineup that I could get into where I won't break the bank? And that's Sony. And the reason is because, well, first we'll talk about lenses. Like, their lenses are all interchangeable as long as it's the E-mount. So I was thinking maybe I could just get the full frame body and buy like the Sigma contemporary lenses and then just use it in the crop factor. But then I thought, no, I'll stick with the full frame lenses. So I thought, okay, what full frame mirrorless line has affordable, full frame lenses? And Tamron, I think is what is really appealing for Sony, because they have some primes which are not fast. I don't know why, like their primes are slow, but their zooms are like crazy good, and for the price too. So this is a 28-75. A lot of people have talked about it. I'm sure you've heard about it, but seriously, this is the only lens I've had for it so far, and it's done everything I needed to do. The image quality is really good. I wish it would start at 24, but oh well, it's 28, that's not too bad. And 75, that's really useful. So for me, this combo right here was enough to just say, okay, I'm just gonna get my foot in the door. I did have the intention of moving up, but I just found that the image quality out of this, the colors and stuff, was just really good. Now I mainly use this for video. I've taken some pictures, but I'm not a photographer, and I feel like I don't take good pictures. I feel like I take better pictures on my phone, to be honest. But as far as video, that's what I've been using it for, is like run and gun. It's really good in low light. Even though the Tamron lens is only a 2.5 aperture, it's still really good in low light. So that's mainly what I used it for. Now, it's like a little bit of background on me. I don't really color grade too much. Like, I know the basics now. I paid for a master class for DaVinci Resolve, so I know how to qualify skin tones, make them like a caramel color. I know how to, I know pretty much the basics. I just don't know how to go into depth into like color grading it from like S-Log or C-Log. I can take it from regular colors and then just enhance them a little bit. So with that being said, I don't color grade too often. So that's me, Now, who do I think it's for? I think it's for people like me, to be honest. I mean, let's face it, the things that people knock it on. And I'm comparing this because the A7 III is right around the corner, and you might be wondering if it's worth getting this or the A7S III. The A7S III is around the corner. I think that if you're looking at this camera, you probably don't know how to color grade. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, if you don't know how to color grade, you probably are using the Panasonic GH5, I'm sorry, if you do know how to color grade, you're probably looking at like the GH5, or you're looking at like just a better camera that has 10-bit color. So if you look at this, you probably don't know how to color grade, right? Because you don't care about the 8-bit. You don't care about the 100 megabits per second codec. All of that is just specs. And I'm really big on like if it works, you know, like I don't care about the specs. I could tell you right now, yeah, it's a 100 megabit codec, it's 8-bit color, but the images that come out of it is still really, really good. And I don't really do a lot of controlled lighting of stuff like this, where I have the big light here and I have everything, you know, manual. I do a lot of run and gun stuff. So if you film like weddings where you can't control lighting too much, you just have to film as it's unfolding, parties and stuff like that, I think the A7, I think the I'm about to say A7, I think the A7 III is still really good for that. I mean, I don't think that you need to get the A7S III if you don't know how to color grade. I think that's the biggest thing, is that if you don't know how to color grade, why are you gonna invest into that much of a camera when you could get this with a kit lens is $2,000 on sale, and if you get it with just the body, it's like $1,700 or $1,800, and probably even less if you get it used. But this has like 2 dual card slots, and it automatically switches. So if I'm running out, I was at a wedding and I ran out of one, I went to the other one. It's got a whole bunch of function buttons. The menu is not too bad. I mean, a lot of people knocked it, and I got around, like it took me like about a day, and then I was already familiar with it. Plus I add all the favorites in there. The white balance is the only thing that kind of threw me off. Like the white balance on Sony cameras, it shifts like a mofo. Like I've never had a camera that shifted white balance so much before Sony. Like when I had Canon and Panasonic, it was pretty like, it would shift, but it would take a long time to shift. If I had like yellow lights and then I moved into somewhere else that was tungsten, this one is really sensitive. It'll switch like that. So because of that, I've learned how to I basically learned a lot about white balance and how to set it for depending on your scenario, how to use those white balance capture cards. So because of that, you know, I've learned to adapt to this camera, which you should probably do with a lot of your stuff. Just adapt to it instead of thinking this is wrong with it and that is wrong with it. Learn to adapt to it so that you learn how to use it to the best of its ability. And that's what I did with the M50 for the longest. I didn't cry about the 4K. I didn't cry about that camera had 1080p 30 megabits a second. That was horrible on paper, but and when you're looking at it, the 1080p was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful. You just couldn't color grade it too much, but it was awesome. Now the 1080p on this kind of sucks. I will say that. Like if you're gonna do vlogs, I might look at another camera for vlogs. There's a ton of other cameras for vlogging, but for 4K, this is awesome. This is like, I haven't had a camera personally that has beat it so far. Just the 1080p does suck. So to recap, you know, the system itself, I feel like it's gonna be the cheapest you can get into, because again, you probably starting out, you will only need a zoom. Start out with a zoom lens, so like a Tamron 28-75. Like I see them all the time used for like $700. You get that, that's enough to get you going. That's a really versatile range. And then later you can get primes if you want, or you can get like, well, pretty much primes is probably the way to go once you start getting enough money. I've used this zoom for a while now that it seems like such a hassle to have to switch out a lens when I just have everything here. So I don't know. To me, I feel like this is pretty good. But yeah, man, I definitely do still think it's worth it. Now, if you do know how to color grade, then like I said, you're probably not looking at this camera anyway. You're probably looking at like an S1H, the Fuji cameras. You're looking at like a Canon camera. I don't know about the latest one because, you know, they're overheating and stuff. But that's my point, is that if you're watching this and you, like I said, you don't know how to color grade, then yeah, I think the A7 III is going to be your cheapest way into mirrorless, especially with their Tamron lineup. That's going to be the way to go. And I think the only other big thing that was a big deal breaker for me at first was that the screen, you know, it doesn't flip all the way up. It stops about right there. And I did mitigate that. It's annoying, but I got this little mirror thing and it does work. You know, when you put it in there, you can see yourself just to like see the exposure and your framing and stuff. So for that, it's great. I kind of did want to use this for vlogging, but now that I use that, it's so damn big, and I'm not gonna take this out anywhere. But you know, at the end of the day, let's say even if you're not able to afford full frame and you're still on APS-C or Micro Four Thirds, dude, don't worry too much about the type of camera. I was doing so much work on the M50 for the longest before I upgraded to any of this stuff, and it's taken me until now to realize that the camera does not matter. I think the most important thing, if you can control it, is lighting. Like, because I know I've done a lot of run and gun stuff again, and a lot of times the lighting part is out of your hands if it's like in a venue or outside, stuff like that. But if you can control it, you know, the lighting will make any camera you have look amazing. Right now I got, this is a Pixel C150. It's a knockoff from the Aperture 120D. It was on sale on Amazon for $250. And then I just got this like Godox dome, which I think I actually got it too big because, you know, check this out. It's like literally about maybe a few inches from me, and it's very, very soft. You know, it's I have it, the intensity is about 80%, but I'll tell you why in a minute. The intensity is about 80%, and I think it looks great. Like, I don't think I've ever seen myself look like this filming before, but lighting is the best. Now I'm starting to focus more on lighting than anything else. And another testament to, you know, how good lighting is, and it doesn't matter your camera, is right now this is my main camera, but I'm filming on the A6100. That's my vlogging camera. I got that one because at the time I was gonna get a Sony ZV-1. if you can tell, I'm like all in on Sony now. Their 4K is just beautiful. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. But I was gonna get the Sony ZV-1 and it was on sale for $750. And then the Sony 6100 just popped up as a suggestion and it was on sale for $699. So it's $50 cheaper, and I could change out the lenses if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but the kit lens already has image stabilization, so the lack of image stabilization in the body didn't bother me. So I've been vlogging with it and just walking normal. It's done a pretty decent job. It's small, it's light, and I think this is a perfect vlogging camera for me. But I'm on this right now with the kit lens. You know, I've never seen somebody film anything with the kit lens that looks like this. I mean, even this, I'm probably not even doing a great job lighting this. You know, I'm still a novice when it comes to lighting. But that's my point, is that lighting can make whatever camera or lens that you have look really, really good. So it's worth it, but if you don't have the budget for it, just use what you got and invest in lighting, and that's it, man. Again, I love this camera so much. Like, I don't even look at the A7S III because again, I don't know how to color grade, and this is perfect. This combo right here is amazing. So that's all I got to say about that. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like, as YouTube is now paying me $10 a month to make these idiotic videos. All right, man. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.